India's gas power sector is facing concerns over stranded assets. In 2025 alone, 31 gas-fired power plants, nearly 8 gigawatts, produced no electricity. Another 5.3 gigawatts has already been retired due to inoperability. IEEFA's Purva Jain is here to unpack this. So, Purva, why have so many of India's gas plants gone underutilized?
So, gas based electricity generation, if you would see, has dwindled from a peak of 13% in 2009-10 to 2% only in last fiscal. This is because gas is unable to compete with other cheaper resources due to the lower than expected domestic gas production and the volatility in the LNG global prices. Renewables, on the other hand, in India are achieving commercial scale and becoming more affordable. All this has resulted in underutilization of the gas fleet, and like you pointed out, has resulted in a recent retiring of 5.3 gigawatts of gas-based capacity. A recent IEEFA report notes that on a variable cost basis, fuel prices will likely have to fall to $5 to $5.75 per MMBTU for gas-fired power plants to compete with coal and renewables. Unfortunately, the domestic gas prices have been above $6 for the past 2 years, while the cost of producing and delivering LNG to Asia is typically over $7, making it difficult for gas-based power to compete in the energy mix. If you would see the tariffs, even at a nominal $8 of LNG delivered, the price of gas would be around 17 rupees per unit, in comparison to the price of other, even solar plus storage at a 24/7 availability is coming to $6, 6 rupees per unit. So that makes it very difficult for gas to compete with even renewables, forget coal.
How serious would you say is the stranded asset risk for India's LNG terminals?
India's LNG import terminals are also struggling with low utilization. Last fiscal, 6 out of 7 operational terminals operated at below 50% utilization, again due to high LNG prices, lack of demand, and site-specific operational challenges. Demand growth barriers could trigger stranded asset risk for LNG terminals in India. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board recognizes this and has therefore issued a suite of regulations to ensure that any upcoming capacity is well aligned with the gas demand. The regulations therefore propose to resolve the existing bottlenecks in the existing terminals and also undertake a comprehensive evaluation of gas demand, location suitability, and pipeline capacity before making any additional investments in expansion or new import facilities.
Speaking of evaluations, are policymakers overestimating future gas demand in industrial sectors?
So, suitability of gas and LNG for India's industrial sector depends totally on the pricing and infrastructure availability. There is evidence of gas consuming industrial sectors switching to cheaper alternative fuels in times of high prices. We saw that in 2022 when the global gas prices reached unprecedented highs. There was an increase in the demand for other alternative fuels, sometimes dirtier fuels as well. So that pricing makes a lot of difference when it comes to industrial consumption in India. So switching from coal to gas has been witnessed in some small to medium scale industries like tea plantation, where gas-based infrastructure is available. It is, however, limited due to the volatility of gas prices, the low domestic gas availability, which is a little bit more affordable, and the slow build-out of LNG infrastructure. For heavy industries like iron and steel making, the gas demand may also be limited as companies are likely to continue relying on cheaper coal. All the proposed coal-based DRI and blast furnace capacity far exceeds the plans for gas-based DRI technologies. The government is also exploring the potential to blend green hydrogen with natural gas, which could further lower gas demand in the industrial sector.
So, considering all these, what safeguards can India adopt in order to avoid more stranded energy assets? Do you have any recommendations, Purva?
India is progressing in the right direction when it comes to the energy mix. There is no plan to build any gas-based power plant till 2032. There is also a massive push for renewable energy deployment with a target to touch almost 600 gigawatts by 2032. Utility-scale renewable energy tenders are also on the rise and reached a record high of 73 gigawatts in 2024. Battery storage market is also expected to grow in the coming decades. Recently, India's first utility-scale battery storage system began operations. All this will help in deploying more renewable energy in the mix and lower locking in resources in fossil fuel-based assets. Electrification in industries and transport is also being actively discussed and can further help lower the chances of stranded energy assets in the country.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, Purva. Looking forward to having you back on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Once again, that was Purva Jain, Energy Specialist, Gas and International Advocacy at the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis. For more news, visit asian-power.com.